Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanat Pranams. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of God's energies. And here is the verse, Bhagavad-gītā, chapter number 7, verse number 14. Would anybody like to recite this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, please.
Bhagavad-gītā 7.14 Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayame te. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This divine energy of mind consisting of three modes. The three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti te. So the translation is, this divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. This is a very revealing verse. It's giving us information about some important points. So the first point that this verse is talking about is the nature of the material energy called Maya. That is the information number one. Daivi. That means this energy is divine. And the second one that we get to know information from this is that it is Gunamayi. Gunamayi means it is consisting of three modes of material nature. So we use this word Maya very loosely a lot of times, but what exactly is Maya? What is it? It's constituted of? Maya is constituted of three modes of material nature. So the moment we say Maya, the three modes of material nature should come to our mind. So second point to note here is Gunamayi. The three modes of material nature. Maya is constituted of these three modes of material nature. Third point to note here is, it is Maya, this is belonging to Krishna. Krishna is saying, Mama Maya. Everything is in relationship with God, the Supreme Lord. So the illusory energy is not more powerful than God, but it belongs to God, and because it belongs to God, it is under the control of God. That is the third point. Duratyaya. Maya cannot be taken lightly. Duratyaya means difficult to overcome. The living entity typically underestimates Maya. Living entity has no clue about his current position, that he is under the clutches of Maya. This information we do not have. Nor do we know that it is so powerful. So the fourth point which is saying here is that it is very powerful and it is difficult to overcome. And the fifth point is, how do you cross it? Now that we know that this material energy is divine, constituted of the three modes of material nature, it belongs to Krishna, and it is difficult to overcome. How can we overcome it? Are there many ways of overcoming it? Let's see that. Mam eva ye prapadyante. Mam eva ye prapadyante means anybody who have surrendered unto me. It says, but those who have surrendered unto me. Again, it says mam, unto Krishna. When you say eva, it is only to Krishna. Only those who have surrendered to Krishna. And again, it says prapadyanti. Prapadyanti means we should have completely surrendered. Prapati means surrender. Only those who have completely surrendered themselves to Krishna, for them, mayam etam, to all of them, this maya, tarantite, they will easily cross beyond it. So even though this maya is very difficult to overcome, it can be easily crossed over by a person who surrenders unto Krishna. Very beautiful, very powerful verse, which we should always remember. This has been expressed in multiple ways. In the chapter number 14, the modes of the material nature, Lord Krishna summarizes what is the Sattva Guna, mode of goodness, what is Rajo Guna, the mode of passion, what is Tamo Guna, the mode of the ignorance. And then Arjuna asks, how do you recognize that a person has crossed the three modes of material nature? Then Krishna explains what are the symptoms which prove that a person has crossed the material energy or maya. After that, the immediate follow-up question by Arjuna is, how do you cross over these modes of material nature? Then Krishna explains, Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says, Mam cha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. If we do pure devotional service to Krishna. So what is the meaning of avyabhicharena bhakti? Avyabhicharena bhakti means what? That means devotional service, nirguna bhakti, beyond the three modes of material nature. That means pure devotional service. So Krishna is very clearly saying, Mam cha yo, those avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Two qualifications. One is avyabhicharena. Avyabhicharena means Shuddha Bhakti. That is ahaitukya apratihata. That means it should not have any kind of hindrance, right? Nor should there be any kind of deviation. Undeviated, uninterrupted. Undeviated, uninterrupted devotional service. That is avyabhicharena bhakti. Just like how Ganga is flowing from the origin point Gangotri and proceeding towards the Bay of Bengal. Until it meets the ocean, it will continue and there is no interruption, no deviation. So the Ganga doesn't think, okay, it's been very boring. Every time I'm going inside this ocean, why should I go inside the Bay of Bengal? This time let us go to the Arabian Sea. Ganga doesn't think like that. So avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. It only wants to go inside the ocean and nothing else. This is called avyabhicharena bhakti or vishuddha bhakti or pure devotional service. Not that, I will worship Krishna and I will worship anybody else also. That is not called avyabhicharena bhakti. That is not called as nirguna bhakti. That is not called as ahaitukya apratihata. I will worship Krishna on Saturdays. On the other days, I will worship anybody. I'll take the names of Krishna also. I'll take the names of others also, other demigods also. I'll take shelter of them also. All of them. Everybody is the same. That is not avyabhicharena bhakti, and such a person cannot overcome the three modes of material nature. Mam cha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Such a person can overcome the three modes of material nature. Same thing Krishna is telling here. Daivihi esha Gudamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayam etam tarantite. The Maya is not different. Maya is same. Maya is constituted by these three modes of material nature. So a one who has transited the three modes of material nature is same as the one who has crossed over the illusion. It's the same thing, right? So let us see some points from the purport here, which brings us to the fundamental question. We all understand that living entities are part and parcel of God. Yes? If living entities are part and parcel of God, Krishna is saying, Mamevamsho Jiva Bhute Jiva Loka Sanatanaha. And if Maya is also Krishna's energy, where Krishna is saying Mama Maya, saying my Maya, and he is also saying living entities are also my part and parcel, Mamevamsho Jiva Bhuta, then how is it that we are also belonging to Krishna, Maya also belonging to Krishna, but how is it that Maya has captured us? Is it because Maya is more superior to us in nature, or the living entities are more superior to Maya? What do you think? Who is more superior, Maya or living entities?
Living entity.
Yes. By philosophy, Krishna explained very clearly in this very chapter, 7th chapter, that apareyam tu itastvanyam. Krishna said that the superior energy is Jiva Bhuta. Living entities are a superior energy in comparison with the material energy Maya. But then, why is it that we are getting captured? Krishna has unlimited energies, and all of these energies are divine because they are in relationship with Krishna. The living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, therefore they are divine. The material nature, which is the cause or which is the energy which is doing the creation, maintenance and sustenance, Maya, is also belonging to Krishna. It is one of the energies, therefore it is also divine. But the point to note here is Krishna has unlimited energies. It is not that material nature is all in all. It is Adi Shakti, it is the beginning. It is not meaning that it is the only Shakti. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Sruyate. There are innumerable Shaktis of Krishna. It is just a very small fragment of Krishna. Maya is just like one drop in an ocean in front of Krishna. Now, living entities are also energy of God. And we are also saying that living entities are superior energy of God. But then they are getting covered. Are they getting covered temporarily? No. They are getting covered eternally. Since time immemorial, we have got covered by Maya. That's our disease. You see? The material energy and Krishna and the living entities getting covered. There's a beautiful analogy. The sun and the sunshine and clouds. So sun is always shining, but on a cloudy day in the rainy season, it appears that sun has been covered. But sun has been covered from our vision. Sun has not been covered or enveloped by clouds. It is only in a temporarily in certain area, it has blocked the vision of certain area. That means the sun rays have been blocked by the sun, by the cloud. Not that the sun has been blocked by the cloud. So if you see, the sun is God, the sun rays is us, the living entities, the cloud again, which is getting formed by sun's energy only, is Maya. So Maya can temporarily block us, the sunshine, but Maya can never touch the sun. The cloud can never cover the sun. The sunlight can be temporarily covered. So Krishna is not affected by Maya. There are some people who would like to believe that Krishna is affected by Maya. If Krishna is affected by Maya, how can Krishna release me from Maya? In this verse, Krishna is telling very clearly, those who surrender unto me, they can very easily overcome this Maya, which is otherwise very difficult to overcome. Now, the reason why the living entity has been covered by this material energy is because of the contamination or the association with the material nature. We don't know when we have become Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha means eternally conditioned. Baddha means tied by a rope. We don't know that we are tied by ropes. We are not able to see these ropes. But guna, the other meaning of guna means a rope. Gunamai means, we are tied by three ropes. One is by the Sattva guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Sometimes we feel like, forget everything, there is nothing. Sometimes we become very enthusiastic and we start working and chasing results. Sometimes we become sober and start thinking and reflecting about wise or some kind of deeper realities of life. So we are vacillating between these three modes of material nature. So more or less it is almost like the material energy is puppeting us with three invisible strings. We have no clue, but we are very much affected by these three strings. It's more or less like we have been tied by these three strings. Therefore, we are called as eternally conditioned. Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha. We are called Nitya Baddha. Eternally conditioned. Now, how do we overcome this? Material energy is inferior, but it is not to be underestimated. Now, we can say, oh, we are a superior energy. Krishna says, apareyam itastvanyam. But please be warned, material energy, even though inferior, is the energy of Krishna. There's a beautiful example I've heard in one Bhakti Vruksha. Now, if there is a rod, if a small child takes the rod and hits you, it may not pain you. But the same rod in the hand of an adult can give you more pain. The same rod in the hand of a wrestler, a very powerful person, can cause serious harm for us. The same stick or the same rod, when the baby is holding it and hitting, nothing happened. But here, it's in the hands of a wrestler. So this Maya is like the stick, which is in the hands of Krishna. So because it's in the hands of Krishna, it's a very powerful force. Because it is Krishna's energy, it is divine and it is very powerful. And it can easily tie us. It has tied us. We have no clue that we are under the control of Maya. We don't even realize that we are under the control of Maya. How do you know that we are under the control of Maya? If we are not surrendering to Krishna, that's a very clear sign that we are under Maya. If we are doing some religious activities but not surrendered to Krishna, that is also one kind of Maya. If somebody is atheistic, that's Maya. If somebody is theistic but not worshipping Krishna, that is also Maya. If somebody is theistic, worshipping different gods and saying Krishna is also Maya, then that is different kind of Maya. It is called Maya Pahrita Jnana. That means intelligence or knowledge stolen away by Maya. That is, the theory of monism, that I am equal to Krishna. If we are equal to Krishna, then why do we need Krishna's help to liberate ourselves? This is the question asked by Madhvacharya. If you are equal to Krishna, why don't you chant your names? You yourself liberate yourself. Why are you taking the shelter of Krishna? We need the shelter of Krishna because a conditioned soul cannot liberate another conditioned soul. Simple. If my hands are tied, I'll go to help to another person whose hands are tied or not tied, whose hands are free. Only the person's hands whose hands are free can help me if my hands are tied. I can't go to another person whose hands are tied. Krishna is not just eternally liberated, but he is the shelter of all those people who are eternally liberated. The Nitya Siddhas, they are always under the shelter of Krishna. And Krishna is beyond Nitya Siddha, is beyond eternally liberated. He is the source of this Maya. Under his will, Maya is working. Because it is Krishna's will, Maya is divine, Maya is powerful. But given a choice, should we take shelter of Maya? Should we take shelter of Krishna? What should we do? Maya is material nature, that is Durga, and Krishna is the source of material nature. Whom should we take shelter of? Should we take the shelter of the owner of the material energy or the material energy itself? What is the correct process? Bhagavad-gītā says, Krishna says, the correct process is to take my shelter. If you take my shelter, I will tell Maya to leave you. It's not that you go to the shelter of Maya and Maya will leave you. Maya will never leave us. Because it is under the control of Krishna. When Krishna says leave, it will leave us. In this connection, there is a story that is said. For example, if you go to somebody's house and if there is a powerful, if there's some pets inside, sometimes it's a dogs inside, beware. This is a dangerous dog inside, it's coming to pouncing upon you. And then we immediately call a friend and say, help, 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 help. And then we'll say, stop, stop, stop. The dog will stop. When the owner indicates stop, the dog will stop. This is the process. This is the process. It's not that, I'll try to give some biscuits to the dog. And then the dog will become my friend. May become, may not become. There's no guarantee. Right? It's like that. So this is the thing. This material nature is wonderful, very nicely working. But the Vedas are saying, Mayam tu prakritim vidyan, Mayinam tu maheshwaram. Maya is Prakriti, but Mayinam tu maheshwaram. That means it is controlled by Maheshwara Krishna. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is controlling Maya. It is his Maya. That's why it's called as Vaishnavi Shakti. It is a Shakti of Vishnu. Vishnu Shakti, Vaishnavi, Vishnu Maya, it is called. And then, how do we get rid of these ropes? The rescuer, I said, must be liberated. Otherwise, we cannot rescue ourselves. Therefore, we take the shelter of Krishna. We take the shelter of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. The spiritual master is Nitya Siddha. He is always liberated because he is the pure devotee of Krishna. He is the Parshada. The spiritual master is the eternal servitor of Krishna. He is eternally liberated. His hands are free and he will liberate us. That is why we have to take the shelter of Krishna through the shelter of the Guru by performing devotional service. This is the process. And people do not know it. People have no clue about it. You know what happened? One day, Vyasdev was very depressed that he wrote so many scriptures, but he was internally feeling very depressed. After having divided all the Vedas, written Mahabharata, written Puranas, written the Vedanta Sutra, yet depressed. Then Narada came and spoke to him and told him the reason for your depression is because you have not informed the living entities about this secret of the devotional service, this principle you have not explained, that by taking the shelter of Krishna, you can liberate yourself. Because you have not established this very clearly, that's the reason why you are feeling depressed. So go ahead and write a scripture which clearly describes about the power of devotional service to Krishna. That's when Vyasadeva sits down in his ashram, meditating upon the Lord. Immediately he takes the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And he did not see only Lord Krishna. He saw somebody else as well. He saw Maya Devi. Maya Devi, where was she? Was she standing in front of Krishna? Was she standing along with Krishna? Or was she standing behind Krishna? When Vyasadeva took darshan of Maya. When Vyasadeva took darshan of Maya Devi, Maya, the illusory energy, was hiding behind Krishna and feeling ashamed. Why feeling ashamed? Because Maya has to do a thankless duty. This is not a good job, right? Stopping people from going to Krishna, right? Just like sometimes there's a queue management that happens in the temple, right? On Janmashtami day, there's queue management. And then there have to be some people who will have to stop the queues. They're very strict, right? Even in Tirupati, we see some people who push us away. They'll stop you. They'll say, stop, you cannot go now. It's not that they want to stop you from taking darshan. That's not the intention. The intention is they want to make sure that the queue management is done properly. That's their intention. So to block, maybe there's some people who are coming again, or maybe they don't have the ticket. They're not allowed here. They're not supposed to be coming here. They'll be stopped. So Maya is like that. Thankless duty has to stop people there. Therefore, feeling ashamed. Because all the living entities captured by Maya have forgotten Krishna. And because they have forgotten Krishna, in the lap of Maya Devi, they are suffering unlimitedly. Nitya Baddha. We have taken unlimited births, unlimited deaths, unlimited diseases, unlimitedly suffering. It is not something to be proud of. That Maya Devi feels very proud and stands in front of Krishna. See, I am doing such a wonderful service for you. She is doing a wonderful service, but that service, the nature of the service is like that. Has to stop people from going to Krishna. But the moment you start doing devotional service, this is the link. This is the link. Then he saw, Vyasadeva also saw that the living entities were under the shelter of Maya. They were all suffering there. And it was very clear, it was very simple that all Vyasadeva had to do was explain them about this devotional service so that they can come out of the clutches of Maya and come to Krishna. We should be with Krishna. We belong to Krishna. We are the part and parcel of Krishna. He is our eternal Father who is waiting for us. But just like, you see, the purpose of a university is that university wants that everybody must pass. But however, that does not mean that the question paper will be leaked to everybody. Or it is not that everybody will be allowed to write any answer paper and they will be passed and they'll get the certificate. Then there is no meaning of such kind of certification. There must be a question paper, and the options must be confusing. That is the duty of Maya. So Maya's duty is to present you confusing options and questions every single day. And every single day, if we are not well prepared, if we do not have the shelter of the spiritual master, we will eventually end up ticking the wrong answer, which looks right. So we make wrong choices life after life and get caught by Maya. And then what happens is, by Krishna's mercy, if we can get a spiritual master, Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Kripa Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, when we get that seed of devotional service, that's when our fortune has changed. Now we no longer are helpless living entities under the bondage of Maya. Now we have the power to overcome Maya and overcome this material energy and cross the 7 coverings of the material universe and cross these 3 modes of material nature. You see, Vaikuntha has got 7 gates, and the material nature or the material world, Brahmanda, has got 7 layers. Cross these 7 layers, cross the 7 gates of Vaikuntha, and reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is when we have become very fortunate. The day when we become a devotee, that is when our fortune has started. That is why there is a verse in Narada Bhakti Sutra which says, that day is not inauspicious when it rains. Usually when it rains, it's called inauspicious because your business is gone. You can't do your daily business. You can't go to school. You can't run your shop. You can't do anything on that day. You can't do your agriculture. That day is ruined. Inauspicious day. No, not that day. When there is a strike or when there is something like that, when there is some band or when there is, where it's raining, when there is storm. No, not that day. That day is an inauspicious day when you forget Krishna. The day which you forget Krishna, that day is inauspicious day. And that moment is auspicious when you remember Krishna. So auspiciousness, inauspiciousness is not based on whether I get a profit or loss. My business is in profit, it's an auspicious day. My business is in loss, therefore it's inauspicious. No, my real business is to go back to Krishna, to liberate myself and to serve Krishna, to go back to home, back to Godhead, to go back to the Father. Therefore, the day when I realize this, that, oh, this is the thing, I'm supposed to be serving Krishna, not in a vyabhicharena, avyabhicharena, not pratihata, apratihata, right? Not in a anya, ananya, not in a deviated way, right? So it's not avyavasaidam, right? So it is about focusing our energy and doing devotional service as explained by the Nitya Siddha Guru. The eternally liberated spiritual master knows the Vedas and he is telling us how to do devotional service in the Nirguna way, without the tinge of material nature. I should not go to Krishna for the sake of some pride or anger. Out of anger I go to Krishna. Out of pride I go to Krishna. With a separatist mood I go to Krishna. Or with the view to gain some material benefits I go to Tirupati. And I beg for some benefits. This is not the right way. Nor I go to Krishna for the sake of liberation. Even that is Sattva Guna. That is also not Shuddha Bhakti. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi vinivrita anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. The best bhakti the acharyas have given us, the pure devotional service. We have to simply follow this process. Then we will be delivered. Krishna is saying, Mameva ye prapadyante. This is also very significant. Mam means unto me. When Krishna is speaking Bhagavad-gītā, there are multiple speakers there. Sometimes Sanjaya is speaking, sometimes Dhritarashtra is speaking, sometimes Arjuna is speaking, sometimes Krishna is speaking. Majority verses by Krishna. Krishna says Mam. It is simple grammar to understand. Mam just means me, mine. Many times Krishna has said that very clearly. Mam means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Purport says, although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated personalities, almost on the level of Vishnu, but it is not possible by such incarnations of Rajoguna and Tamoguna The three incarnations, Trimurti, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. The incarnation of the Sattvaguna is Vishnu, incarnation of Rajoguna is Brahma, incarnation of Tamoguna is Lord Shiva. It is not possible to get liberated by Rajoguna or Tamoguna. It is only possible to get liberated by the Sattvaguna. It is only possible to get liberated by Vishnu. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, only he can give release to the conditioned souls. Who is saying that? The Vedas are saying that. It says, Tameva viditva. The freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. And even Lord Shiva affirms the same thing, that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnureva na samshayaha. Which means Lord Shiva is saying there's no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. So the only person who can deliver us is Vishnu. We cannot take the shelter of the other incarnations of Krishna, the Gunavataras of Rajoguna, Gunavatar of Tamoguna, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and expect us to be liberated. Only Lord Vishnu can liberate us. Only Lord Krishna can liberate us. So this is the philosophy that we have to understand, okay? And we'll close this in conclusion. Once somebody came, and devotee came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, Maya is very strong. Then Prabhupada said, Maya is not very strong. Your resolve is very weak. Very powerful statement. It's not Maya that is very strong, that I blame it on Maya. Maya is very strong and therefore I am under Maya. I keep getting defeated by Maya. No, Prabhupada said, your resolve is very weak. Make it strong. So if we can make our resolution strong, determination strong, that we shall overcome this Maya, then Maya will become weak. That's it. So with this, we will stop here. Hare Krishna devotees, thank you very much. Anybody wants to add anything or have any questions, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anything anybody wants to say or ask? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you very much.